The name of this week's Torah portion, from which Maddie will chant tomorrow morning, is very striking. The portion which covers Exodus chapters 18 to 20 is Yitro, Jethro in English. It's striking not only because Yitro, is the non-Jewish father-in-law of Moses, but also because this portion named after him includes the receiving of the 10 Commandments, undoubtedly the greatest moment in the history of the Jewish people to that point. The early and later rabbis, therefore, asked a logical question. If no event in the history of the Jewish people can equal the divine covenant which brought the Jewish people into existence as a people and a nation, why are the 10 Commandments found in a Torah portion named after a Gentile, a Midianite priest named Yitro? Is it because he is Moses' father-in-law? Not likely. Far more significant was Jethro's advice to Moses on how to lead. Seeing Moses teaching and leading the entire nation all by himself, Yitro was not afraid to say, "Son, are you crazy? What you're doing is not good." That's literally the verse of the Torah. What you are doing is not good. You're going to wear yourself out. What we say in modern parlance, burnout. And so are the people. They're going to burn out if you're not right. Your responsibility is too great. You can't do it all alone. Seek out help from among the people. Get others to help you. This practical advice and wisdom is just one of the many things Moses learned from Jethro. Another reason why it is significant this week's Torah portion is named after a Gentile is in light of what happened last week. The Torah portion ended with the arch-evil character Amalek, the precursor of Haman. What happens when you hear Haman? As we head toward Purim, Amalek was the predatory nation that personified utter evil because the Amalekites mercilessly attacked the weakest ranks of the Jewish people, children, the elderly, and in biblical times, all the women who were in the back, taking care of the children and the elderly, not fighting in the front with the army. Amalek would go after the defenseless, and in time would come to be symbolized in characters like Haman, Hitler. You get the picture. So contrast the darkness of Amalek last week with the light of Jethro this week. Not only is Moses' father-in-law not bent on destroying the Jewish people, he's family. He's the kindred spirit, a person who understands the goodness of the Jewish mission, one who is cognizant of the teachings of the Jewish people about one God and one world. Yitro reminds us to beware of stereotypes and labels, and that it is wrong to assume that beneath the skin of every Gentile lurks an anti-Semite. Beneath the skin of every human face lies the very spark of God. This leads to my final reason why this week's Torah portion, Jethro, is named after someone who is not Jewish. To impress upon us, as Elie Wiesel has said, that the mission of the Jew is not to make the world more Jewish, but to make the world more human. Sinai, as the rabbis have written, and I quote, is not only a private encounter between God and the Jewish people. Sinai points toward the realm of encounter between God and all people, all existence. That is why our task is to be a mamlechet kohanim and goy kadosh, a holy nation and a kingdom of priests, and why our bat mitzvah tomorrow is going to give us the origin of holy, 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 kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. to share with the entire world the message of ethical monotheism. And the non-Jewish person in the Torah is the one who helps keep alive the message of the greatness of the one God and who demonstrates the possibility of our message reaching the world that needs it. Later in the Bible, we're going to learn that Ruth, the great-great-grandmother of King David, from whom the Messianic age will come, was herself a convert to Judaism. The rays of Judaism extend out to the world, to all people. And that is why the Reform movement adopted as its motto when it began, we are to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, because our task is to be a light unto other people, to be a light unto the nations. That's why it's no accident that Jews, particularly Reform-affiliated Jews through the years nationally, are so highly involved in community service. I don't even have to say nationally, locally, in organizations and agencies which serve the needy, not just of Jewish people, of course we take care of our people, but all people, which is why our Rabbi, Katie Bowman, is the co-president of the latest Memphis Interfaith Coalition on Action and Hope for all people, not just Jewish people. We Jews have a great deal to give to others. And the name of this week's Torah portion, Yitro, reminds us that we in turn can learn from and share with those who may have been raised in a different house, but who ultimately come from the same source, the one God who created us all. And let us all say, Amen.